Hey guys, and welcome to our Keep Calm in the Chaos video training. What this lesson is it talks you through what is the stress response, what we call the stress volcano, and how can we stop it? How can we climb down the mountain? Now, we've all had those stressful days where 100 things are happening, the fridge is broke, the kids need stuff, your husband forgot their lunch, there's 100 different things that are going on, and it falls on us to fix all those problems, and that makes for a bad day. Now, what I want to talk about today is how to keep calm in the chaos, how to manage stress well. Okay, now we're going to have a little bit of a visualization here. Full disclaimer, I'm a terrible artist, but I'll try my best, okay? This right here is going to be your stress level, and this right here is going to be time, okay? Now, in our body, every time we have a stressor, every time we have to remember to do something, every time we have to make a phone call, every time we hear our phone go off because we got an email, every time we have whatever, our needy boss asks for something, every time you hear, Mom, right, we get this little rush of epinephrine, okay? Now, the problem is that happens about 400 times a day, right? We are needed. We have to do something. We remember something a lot during the day, and that leads to stress. Now, this process is automatic, okay? Our body automatically releases this epinephrine as we need to do something. And unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things, we are not that far evolved because, let me tell you why. So it used to be that every time we needed to do something, we were fighting for our life. We were finding food. We were protecting our family. But now that's not the case. But our body releases the same amount of epinephrine, the same amount of energy producing hormone as if we were fighting for our life. Okay, so we get these bursts of energy, these bursts of endorphins every time we feel stressed out, right? And so what happens is that it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And like we said, this is an automatic process. It happens automatically. Now, at some point, you, during the day, will hit a breaking point, okay? Right there is the breaking point. Some days the breaking point doesn't happen till 6 p.m., some days it happens at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And that's the point of it, right? Is that at any time during the day, we need to learn what our breaking point is. Now, that can look like a few different things. That can look like you yelling at someone. That can look like you withdrawing. That can look like a migraine headache. That can look like a panic attack. That can look like a lot of different ways that you just blow up, that you blow a gasket, that the steam has to escape, which is why we call this a volcano. That is your eruption, okay? That is your breaking point. We've all hit that breaking point, right? Maybe a couple of times already today. Here is where the magic happens. When we know what that breaking point is, when we can feel it in our body, and we can feel it, we just have to pay attention, we can stop and decide to climb down that mountain. Okay, so right here, I can say, wait, I am getting close to the boiling point. I am going to freak out. For me, I just yell at everyone. That's how I manage stress. It's not very healthy, right? So I can say, wait, I'm going to get here, but I want to stop that before it happens. So I am going to keep calm in the chaos. And there's 5 ways that I teach to do this. You can pick and choose which ones you like, and you can pick and choose which works better for different situations on different days. Now, if you guys want to learn more about this, there's way more than 5. I'm going to talk 5 today because those are the easy ones. They're the most common, but there's certainly more that we can use. And we'll dive into that in the next upcoming weeks here. So when we can say, okay, I'm getting close to that boiling point, the volcano is about to erupt, we can say, stop. I am going to stop. I am going to calm down. Now, this process here is not automatic. We have to intentionally do that. We have to purposefully climb down the mountain in order to stop the volcano from happening, okay? And there's 5 ways to do that. Number 1, is deep breathing. You hear people say this all the time. Take a deep breath. Just relax. Take 3 deep breaths. Take 5 deep breaths. They have tons of names for it, right? Box breathing, 1, 2, 3 breathing, angel wing breathing, all these sorts of breathings or sorts of ways that you can breathe. And those are so beneficial. So beneficial. I love them all. I use them all, and there are several good things. Keep in mind, you can do those breathing techniques at any time throughout the day. So maybe you just got an email that you weren't expecting. Do the breathing. Maybe your kid yells mom 486 times. Do the breathing. Maybe you forgot something. Do the breathing. So it's important that you do these throughout the day, but you can also do it for several minutes. Do it for 10 minutes when you're about to hit that breaking point. So keep that in mind. So number 1 is deep breathing. Number 2 is to walk away. And this can be really powerful, especially when you are feeling like you're hitting the breaking point and it's inappropriate to yell or scream or cry or have a panic attack or whatever. So if you're in a meeting, if you are having an unpleasant conversation, if you're trying to be professional, if you're trying to be like an adult, which sometimes is not so easy, walking away is a great thing to do. Okay, just walk away, do the breathing when you're walking away. The process of exercise will also help to burn off some of this epinephrine that has been released in our body. So like we said before, when we feel that stressor, it's epinephrine that is released that gives us energy to fight. But like we said before, we don't need that energy to fight. We just have to make the phone call or write the email or add something to our to-do list. So walking away helps us to burn off some of that extra adrenaline. Okay, and that is really, really powerful. Number 3 is that you kind of combine 1 and 2 and add some music. Okay, number 3 is to dance it out. And this one seems kind of odd, but this is a really powerful thing that you can do, especially if you are at home and if you are stressed out with your kids, because of your kids, in spite of your kids, around your kids, or anything having to do with other people. Okay, now music is one of the most powerful things externally that we can do that elicits a feeling. Music is meant to elicit a certain feeling from us and cause us to feel a certain way. So by having a playlist, which I call a pump up playlist, ready, so that when we feel like we're about to erupt, we can turn on that playlist and we can dance it out. We combine the physical aspect of burning down that adrenaline with the mood boosting benefits of music, and we dance our heart out. That is my favorite one, okay? So have a pump up playlist, dance it out. This is a really powerful tool too that you can teach kids, that kids need to learn when they are feeling upset, when they're feeling frustrated. Having a physical outlet, a way to dance, music, using your body in a healthy way to release that energy is really, really healthy. Perhaps one of the best things that we can do, okay? Number 4 is to take 5. Now what take 5 means is that you take a step back, you go outside, or close to outside. You can go in front of a window if you can't go outside. And you're going to identify 5 things in 5 different areas. Okay, now what you're going to do is go through the 5 senses. So you're going to say, okay, what are 5 pleasant or nice or enjoyable things that I can see? What are 4 things that I can hear? What are 3 things that I can touch? 2 things that I can taste? Or 2 things that I can smell and 1 thing that I can taste. If you get the order mixed up, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. But the idea is that we look through, we take the time to look at pleasant things, look at beautiful things outside, see the greenery, see nature, get that fresh air, and go through our senses, and it slows us down and gives us time to come down that mountain. And that is really, really powerful too. And then number 5 is to spend some time in meditation. Now again, this one is easier said than done. It's more appropriate for some situations than others, and it's more effective in some situations than others, okay? So just taking a few minutes to take a step back, Take yourself to a happy place. Imagine you're on a beach with a little cocktail in your hand, doing whatever you want to do, right? Maybe you're doing a puzzle. Maybe you're drawing. Maybe you're walking on the beach in the sunset, like we said. Or maybe you're just at home in your comfy clothes, cuddling up with your dog in bed, right? Having a meditation, having a practice, a way that you can get away, withdraw yourself is really, really powerful too. Okay, so that is our How to Keep Calm in the Chaos video training. Okay, our body creates these volcanoes, these stress volcanoes, and before we erupt, we can take the time to purposely come down off of that volcano. We do that in 5 different ways, okay? We can do deep breathing. We can take a walk. We can have a pump up playlist and dance it out. We can take 5 with all of our senses, and we can meditate. These are going to be the ways that you stop a stressful day, the ways that you stop that spiral, stop yourself from feeling like you're drowning, how to stop the stress now. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video training, and stay tuned for some more. See you later.